this was the jackpot of the entire investigation evening. As I say, there was a team of psychics that were involved with us. And this one woman, she was fine until she walked into that room. And she started coughing and choking and couldn't breathe.
Wow.
And yeah, she had to leave, go back downstairs, try to get some water. And then she was fine. Came back up, came into the cathedral area. Same thing, started coughing, choking, couldn't breathe.
Wow.
So something in that room was affecting her. And there at the back of that room, I don't know if you remember, there is a gray door.
Okay, yes.
Right against the back wall that leads into another room, which this door has always been chained off, as I've always seen it. And the lead psychic in this group, apparently she had a dream or a vision, whatever you want to call it, prior to this investigation a few days before about this gray door.
Okay.
And she walked in and she went, "That's it. That's the door. That's the door that I was telling you about." And so she walked through the room, went up onto that stage area to go to the door. And oh boy, what happened is that she ended up as the first in my paranormal experience that I've had over the years I've been doing this. She was the first of two partial possessions I've seen take place. She walked up close to that door and just froze. And she said, "I can't move. I can't move." Now, real life partial possession is not like what you see in the movies.
No, it's not.
It's not like The Exorcist, where your head is going to spin around in circles and you're going to vomit pea soup across the room and you're going to spout Latin backwards. And no, it's like you just
become
walk up and you can't move.
That's it's happened to me more than once. So
yeah. It's happened to me. Not a full partial, but there was an attempt at the old Hamilton Custom House. I've had it happen to me.
I've had it.
But she walked up, onto the stage and to go and look at this gray door, and just got slammed with this energy that tried to take her over. And the other psychics that were there had to gather around and pull this energy off of her. It was something to witness, I'll tell you.
She wasn't ready for that, clearly. And that's kind of the thing too, right? I mean, when you're going in to do these kinds of things, being a medium myself, I have to prepare myself in a sense to be open, yet not be that open. I've had partial possessions happen to me where I can literally feel, see, and experience what they are would be feeling, seeing, and experiencing. It's a great way to get like all the best information.
Oh, that.
But at the same time, it can be a little bit off-putting for people if they're not prepared for it. 9 times out of 10, there's no reason to really extract anything. It will do its thing and then it will leave. Generally, it's because it knows that you're open to being able to pick up on it. But I suspect that if you're not really capable of controlling that, the best thing is to not let it happen to you at all. But interesting. So I just want to sort of set something straight, because I was just thinking about it. I went back to my records, my notes from years ago when I was there about the house and its history. And I just wanted to say, now I have a bit of a conflicting thought on this history, because this was not my history, but this was what was told to me. And I'm a little bit conflicted with a bit of the timeline on this, but again, I'd have to go to the Masons and ask them. But originally, so that property in 1816 was part of a loyalist allotment given to somebody by the name of James Mills after the War of 1812, so that he could build a family home on it. So there was a home there already, just not the home that there is today. In 1884, it was sold to George Tuckett, and he owned the Tuckett Tobacco Company, which was the largest in Canada, apparently. So when you say that she was choking and coughing and I've actually experienced the coughing and the smelling of smoke in that building so many times that I wonder if it's got something to do with residual energy from Tuckett himself, who was a heavy smoker.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's an interesting theory. Yeah.
Because, again, if we're able to pick up on those energies, we may be able to pick up on some of the ailments as well. I know I've been able to do that. But what it says is that the property was sold to the Scottish Rites in 1920, and they built the cathedral and the rotunda in 1922. So my understanding is that the cathedral / the theater portion of it was already constructed by the Tuckett family, and that the Scottish Rites built onto that portion. So,
oh, really?
Yeah. So that little theater, the theater itself, which is on the second floor, yes, on the second floor, was already constructed, and that the central hallway it is quite wide now and has rooms on the other side, as well as the cathedral part was built by the Scottish Rites. So I don't know if that's 100% accurate, but I did hear, and I remember in previous research, that the theater itself was built by the Tuckett family and not by the Scottish Rites.
Oh, I've never heard that before.
Because if you think about it, why in the world would Scottish Rites build a vaudeville theater? Right?
Like, but why would Tuckett?
Tuckett did, because his family, they loved theater. And because it was so popular in the, 1915 and around, from the Edwardian period forward, essentially, that all the big stars were coming. And he wanted to be able to book them in his own theater. So there was money to be made. And there was also the fact that he loved that stuff, and so did his family. So I don't see that the Rites built that, because they have absolutely zero reason to me to build a vaudeville stage and to deck it out with beautiful backdrops and scenery if they're only going to use it as an initiation room, because that's what it got used for, right? So it doesn't make sense. There's no need for that theater space in there at all for that purpose, right? So the fact that it still has the wings and it has all of the, the stage propping and the pulleys and all the beautiful scenery, and that predates that time, that it's more like 1910, 1914 than 1922. So I think that additional part of the building was added, but I do believe that I did read prior that the theater was one of Tuckett's doing for the family, as opposed
Interesting.
to Masons, because it makes no sense the Masons are building a stage for vaudeville, right? It really doesn't. So I just wanted to kind of line that up, because it's sort of the it's there now and it's repurposed for their use, but at the time it was not for the purpose of the Masons, right? So I just want to sort of lay that out. So during your investigation and doing all of these things, when you went through with the psychics and that, what else did they pick up? Were you guys allowed on the third floor then, or no?
No.
Okay. Were you allowed in the servant stairwell?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I find
we're in there, but no, third floor was told off limits for us. So
okay.